I'm focused on being balanced. I want to be productive. I want to be happy. I want to have joy, and I want to effectively habit stack. If all of those things sound like what you want to do as well, you are in the right place. Hey guys, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Gabrielle Kazaya. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on another video. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified with every new video that I drop. I know for me at least, I really want to focus on having the best habits to not only work towards my goals, but to feel the best when I wake up every day. So these are some of the things that I am going to be working on in 2025 to make sure that we are the most successful and effective that we can be. First things first, of course, working on a routine. I think people overlook routine so much, especially because it's like, okay, you can get into a routine that's not positive and effective for you. So one thing that I'm working on is starting with a similar morning routine, but not having the same morning routine every day. A lot of people think like, I'm gonna wake up at 6, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and that's the most effective routine. When really you need a different routine for each type of morning you have. Whether it's the early morning when you work out, you go to the gym, you eat healthy, you start with your smoothie and you get on your day, or the routine when this is the sleep in routine. You sleep in until about 9 to 10 o'clock, you do some work midday, but you're most effective in the evening. Or a routine for when you have no time to do what you typically would do and ease into your morning. It's a busy day, you have to get to going somewhere, and you have to get ready quickly and plan for your day and push all the other things that you have prioritized to the side. So I'm starting with a routine every morning. One thing that I'm adding to my routine is going to be stretching. I find that what I really want to work on in 2025 is becoming the flexible that I used to be, because I don't know, I don't really feel like I'm getting old yet, y'all, but the flexibility is not where it used to be. But I always start this morning with God. I try to read my Bible as the first thing I do when I wake up. I try not to check my phone as much unless I'm reading the Bible off my phone, because I don't want to read the book. Then I typically do a really good morning routine, skincare, oral hygiene. Sometimes I hop in the shower, and I think that just really like refreshes. Like when my skin feels super clean and ready for the day, I also feel really clean and ready for the day. So that is the number one thing I do. I then try journaling some mornings. Some mornings I go right into work. I check those emails. I make that breakfast. I'm a big like meal prep girl, so I do prep breakfast. I typically just make like oatmeal for the week or something, or do a smoothie that day. So I don't really focus on that as much, but those are kind of the things that I start my morning routine. I will try to leave some things down below of morning routines people recommend. I think that slow mornings are the best mornings, especially for me. When I wake up and have a slow morning and kind of can get ready at my pace, pick my outfit out, read the emails, respond to things, plan out for my day, that's what works best. I also noticed that I do try and plan some of my day the night before. That way when I wake up in the morning, I know what I already have to do, and I don't have to like think for a long time like, oh, what did I not finish, or what did I not do? So at the end of every night, I also make sure that I write down all the things that I didn't accomplish, assign it to different tasks throughout the day, and then I can go forward and know that my next morning I'm ready to hit the ground running and go. So something that I have been doing and plan on implementing is like learning time, or like a study hour in a sense. So this is just time for me to add experience and knowledge to my brain, learn more, surround myself with more information. So sometimes for that, it looks like reading a book, it looks like reading like the Wall Street Journal, or just updating myself on the news that's going on. I like to read podcasts, watch YouTube videos, but this is my time just to like work on myself, understand just some things that I need to add to my life. Sometimes they're skills, sometimes it's just like general news and knowledge, but those are definitely things that I do to really just stimulate my mind at the beginning of the day. I think that is super important, because you should always be learning. That is the only way you can grow and continue becoming. So I think when I start with that learning time, it definitely really helps me. I find things about the world that I didn't even know, and things that may affect my sector or what I'm studying in school, and that definitely helps me, and I recommend you doing it too. You do not always have to start with an hour. I started in really small increments of just like 5 minutes reading the news daily, 15 minutes reading my book daily, 20 minutes watching a YouTube video about improving myself or improving my finances or improving my self-care and skincare. And then I kind of built the time that I spent on that over the course of the month or over the course of the year. And I really find that those small tidbits really did help transform my life in a way that I did not expect. So I definitely recommend doing that in the new year as well. This year for me, boundaries is a big thing that I'm adding in. I often realize that I did not say no to things as much as I should have. Sometimes I took too much on, just thinking like, oh, I'll get to this later, or, oh, I can do this still, and that actually wasn't the case. So I definitely think that saying no is super important. Learning how to say no and not feeling guilty about saying no. I know a lot of times I would feel so guilty about like telling someone like, oh, like I can't do this day, or I can't hang out with you this day, and I would just push something else aside in order to do that and show up for them, because I would want them to show up for me in the same way. But understanding when to say no is super imperative and important, y'all. If you cannot say no and set boundaries in your life, how are you going to expect to thrive? Because you're always going to be putting something that you need to do aside for someone else. I find that I deal with this even on the smallest level. Like just a few minutes ago, my friend called me and I told her, girl, you have to wait until I finish filming this video, because the girlies need to hear what I have to say. And if I were to take that call, I would lose my train of thought and focus in this video. So I really think just a small boundary like that is super important, y'all. Do not push something to the side just because someone else is trying to pull your time or your attention. Set time, set boundaries for them, but also focus on yourself and what you need to finish. Y'all, I am really working on keeping up my health in the weeks that are busy. For example, in the first half of 2024, I was super on it in the gym. Like I was going to the gym 4 to 5 times a day. I mean, not a day, girl, what? 4 to 5 times a week. I was exercising, I was hitting the target areas, I was going to the gym, I was also keeping up with Pilates, and I was doing all the things that was really keeping me in the best health and best shape of my life. And I definitely noticed, at least this semester, so the last quarter, probably the last 2 quarters of this year, like mid Q3, quarter 4, so that's like September to December, I got super busy with school. My org's in school. We had events all the time. So I found myself like not going to the gym as much, or I was so exhausted from that I wasn't taking the 15-20 minutes just to work out. Even if it was a small workout just on the floor, like a few abs, a little bit of crunching, some squats, I could have done, and I kind of just pushed it to the side. So I'm, definitely working on setting the time and staying strict with myself. 30 minutes of time really is nothing. That's the same amount of time that you might watch a TV show before you go to bed. So just allocating my time to working out and your health, especially because as you get older, especially in your 20s, y'all, that is when some of the health stuff starts to change. Your body is changing. So just making sure that I'm keeping up with that to ensure that I'm presenting the best way and I also feel better, because it's not for everyone, but I personally am a person that if I am doing fitness and just staying up to date with my health, I do feel better, I perform better, I'm more energized, my legs are more limber, I don't get tired walking upstairs, things like that. So I do really want to focus on that. And I also think when the weather gets cold, it is harder for you to do that, because you want to sit in your bed or you want to cuddle up with a movie, but just still staying focused on that as a priority is super important to me, especially this year. Next, y'all, I'm working on enjoying my solitude. I think I've become very okay with being alone, and I think that's something that you definitely develop. And I have this actually kind of goes hand in hand with the next thing I'm focusing on, which is setting time for people in my life. I think living off campus, living on my own in an apartment, like I have a roommate, but I think sometimes I do forget that like my other friends are not going to see me unless I intentionally set out to see them. So definitely like texting people like, hey girl, do you want to meet for lunch? Do you want to go get our nails done together? Do you want to hit the gym? You want to go to yoga? You want to go to the movies? And not just being so okay with being alone, but also when I'm alone, enjoying that alone time. Like you don't need to be on FaceTime or having like background noise. You can just be okay sitting in silence in your thoughts and being very mindful and doing meditation and things of that nature. So that is really what I am working on this year. enjoy my solitude, and planning time for friends and family. Habits take time to stick, but every time you do it, it will get you closer to your goal and what you're trying to accomplish. I try to remember that each time I do it, it's just like a little pat on the back, and you got to do it again. You have to make sure you do it again, because when you don't do it again is when you fall off of the cycle. And y'all, we are committed to doing the work this year. We are going to make sure that we are sticking to the habits, we are sticking to accomplishing our goals, and we are going to have the best possible outcome. I believe in y'all. Y'all should believe in yourselves 10 times more than I do. Comment down below, what habit are you trying this year? I know last year one of my favorite habits that I did was eating cleaner and eating healthier. Y'all, I was going to Whole Foods, I was going to Trader Joe's. When I went into Kroger, well, in Atlanta, when I went into Kroger or Publix, or like in Philly up north, if I went to ShopRite or Fresh Grocer, I was walking past the chip aisle, past the pretzels, past the junk food, and just even, I think, the small things, like if I'm gonna eat a chip, I'll eat like a tortilla chip or a potato chip that has less like ingredients and preservatives and stuff, but is still like a little bit of junk. So just really remember that whatever you do, keep it like reasonable to what you can accomplish. Like, don't do nothing crazy, y'all, and say you're going vegan if you love eating steak and lamb chops. So keep in mind that all your habits build towards your larger goal. I hope you guys are finding these tips helpful. Comment down below what you guys want to see next on our New Year, New Us journey, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.